Okay, Mike, this is some of your solo canoe video from day one of your ACA canoe instructor course. This is looking at your 2x4 technique using your variations in your forward and your cross forward to paddle a figure eight on flat water. We'll watch this once through in real time. I may make some comments along the way and then we'll do some analysis after. So here we go. Some nice momentum on your offside carve there. Now you're trying to generate a straightening of that carve, end up using a bow jaw to help, and I'd like to work with you on getting a longer, cleaner cross forward to generate that switch of the carve. Here you're doing a effective job of finding balance between your rotational momentum generated by your onside stroke and the carving momentum. Similar comment here on your offside. Really nice job balancing the power of the bow pinning wave, pressing on the outside of your bow, the right front part of your boat, with the surface area and force generated by the paddle blade on the inside of your turn on the front left quarter of your boat. This is a really good effort to switch the carve with a sweeping cross forward stroke. I have a few tips that we'll look at to clean up the transition out of that stroke. Okay, here we both are at the catch of our cross forward stroke. Something that I'm noticing is that neither of our hands are cresting in this moment above the top of our helmet. That's a good thing. Something else that I'm seeing that's desirable, I can see that your chin is not really any further forward than your knees are able to be. And once we're in motion, that's desirable. Once we're in motion, we don't want our chin to come forward of our knees because it will load our bow, pushing the trim of our boat more into the water at the leading end of the boat, especially when we're facing upriver, paddling into current, say on a ferry angle. Having the bow loaded like that will make it harder to control our angle and accomplish the maneuver. Something to note at the beginning of the power phase of each of our stroke, if you look closely, you can see my blade is fully in the water. Yours is mostly in the water, and the reason I know it's not all the way in the water when you start pulling it is because of the degree of splash here. So just some encouragement. You can drop that top hand lower, which will be easier on your shoulder. You'll get more out of your stroke if your whole blade is in the water. A way to structure that in is you can cheat your shaft hand a little closer to your T-grip, I bet, given the length of your paddle, size of your boat. Here we are at the end of the power phase, or for you, the beginning of your recovery. So right there's the end of your power phase, I would say. Blade still in the water. And your recovery compared to mine, my top hand does come up, but only as my blade is moving forward. And right now, your top hand is coming up, and your blade is continuing to move backward or straight up. So your top hand crests with a nearly straight arm, elbow at forehead level. My top hand here is a little higher than I would like it, but quickly drops again as I'm in my power phase. Something you can work on to correct for this, one thing that's you have going for you already is that your upper body is facing your work. You have your torso twisted. That's going to set you up well for this next part, which is to drop this top hand down. That'll slice the blade forward. So right now you're picking everything up to get the blade out of the water. And really it's going to be this simultaneous dropping of your top hand back to bring your blade forward or even up and out if you're going for the switch to the other. And then everything I'm seeing in this sequence where you're working up the momentum to switch sides, the harder you work, the harder it gets in a way because you're trying to release the stroke towards the back. So here, if instead of bringing this hand forward and across your forehead, you could actually drop it back this way. That will free your blade out of the water more quickly at the same time that it's setting you up for a longer cross-forward stroke, which will help to accelerate your boat that direction, but also to begin the rotational momentum for the new carve. Wanted to take a moment to highlight something that went really well for you here. You have a really nice long onside stroke. This is you're about to switch to your offside here. Let's watch this sequence. Some good torso engagement there. At the end of your stroke, your PFD panel is facing off the center line of your boat, 30 to 45 degrees. That's awesome when that range of motion is available to you. So that nice long stroke helps you accelerate and begin a new rotation. Something that you do really well is this is an opportunity where going past our hip with a little bit of a steering stroke makes sense. Your low top hand here that is still, I'd say, over the gunnel rather than over the center part of your canoe makes me think you're doing a little bit of a stern draw to assist you getting onto this new carve. That's awesome. So the combination of acceleration and rotational momentum towards your offside positions you really well to start a nice clean offside carve here. Really nice, Mike.